When I go, I can allow that. My conscience will not allow me. If I'm enforcing rules, order to other people, then I'll begin to say, this man, no, don't go there because he was former this, he was former that. Nobody does that. So those who are writing, who are talking jokes, go and find out what really happened. Some people say, I said the boy is a fool. And what I meant was this. You cannot be carrying out an illegal order. That's what I meant. I didn't say military is a fool. I couldn't have said that. I couldn't have. I know the role of the military. The role they have been playing in this country. What they have passed through in fighting insurgents and terrorists. There's nobody. And I've always given my support to security agencies. As I came as FCT minister, go and see their securities. Go and see what I provided for them to fight and do their work. So if I know that, why would I say that? It's not true. But you, what you're doing, you are not doing what you are taught as an officer. The mere fact you're an officer does not mean that if you do what's wrong, it's like a professor in the university who will not allow young girls to rest, or will not allow people every time bring money for this and that. Then when I see that professor, I'll tell that professor, you're not supposed to be a professor at all.
Hello, everyone. What do you think about that video that you just... Hey, you just watch that video and Wike is coming out to tell us, KOROKORO, Wike is looking us in our eyes, eyeball to eyeball, he's telling us that he did not call the officer a fool. Abi, you say it was AI. Thank God it was not just people's, what do I call it now? People videoing and all of that. It was the media that he carried, that he took there to go. That one I went, that showed us that indeed he called the well, if he shot, okay, you know, in a way, Wike might actually be right. He didn't say he was he said he was a big fool. So there's a difference. So they need to add that big. Because he said you are a big fool. About the foolish, you are foolish. He didn't say you are foolish. There was one, don't be a fool. Then he said you are a big fool and all of that. This is something we saw with our own very eyes. So this is what somebody is sitting down and lying about that he did not, say any of those things. It's just so pathetic how people don't really own up and take responsibility for their action. Yes, we all make mistakes. There are certain things that we do. We are like, oh my goodness, how did I get myself into this, situation? What did I do? I messed up. I effed up big time. I shouldn't have done this thing. We all have those moments. But what you should have the grace to do is, first of all, come out and apologize. Wike needs to come out and apologize for his behavior, apologize, to the young man. I lost control for a moment. I called you, I used some words I shouldn't have used on you. It doesn't take anything away from you. Apologize also to the public for his behavior, for the kind of things. Because what are you telling children? You're telling them that, oh, you're supposed to be respectful, you're supposed to respect elders, you're supposed to do this. And then you're seeing a grown up elder behaving in such reckless and disrespectful manner. And this is someone who is a minister. This is someone who is holding position of authority. And how does it even portray Nigeria in the international community? So all of these things, he needs to, first of all, it's not the time to come on and be on media and be talking. You should have seen different this of media where he just put all of those camera, what do you call this, a microphone in front of him, and he's just yapping and yapping away. And I'm looking at, I'm thinking, why is the media giving him this much time to be yapping away? Nobody is correcting. Didn't any of them play that video to him to say, no, see what happened? Maybe you, in the heat of the moment, did not realize what you were saying, but all of this was caught on camera. And I tell you, this was not caught on camera. The way the whole thing would have been, changed, it's unbelievable. And even some of them have really started trying to change this whole, the whole thing by even the editing. You will see the video that his aide put out, that his media person put out. There's another media house, the way they did their own video, like, thank God we're able to see the whole video out there. And, just come out, take responsibility, say, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done this. But of course, Wike, that's the reason, exactly the reason why he has not been able to learn from anything. And over the time, he just becomes progressively, worse than he has been before. And he's this kind of person that just get carried away by power and feels that, by bullying people, bamboozling people is the way that he shows that he is something, he's big, he's whatever. And if you listen to the interviews that he has been granting, that media chat that he did, he was saying something like, oh, Obasanjo calls in and he resolved their issue, this general, that, this, that, this. If you did, I don't know that I mentioned T.Y. Danjuma, but he mentioned a number of people that, they call him and he resolved their issue. That's what he wants, this small man mentality. He wants to be called, he wants to feel good, he wants to be needed. He doesn't realize that the fact that people are calling you shows your incompetence. It shows that things are not working, because if things are working, they should be seamless. They shouldn't need to come to you. Even if you came in and they were not working by now, you should have been able to put in a system in place that all of these things are resolved and they don't come to your table. That's the essence of leadership. That's the essence of being in somewhere. Not that, oh, you are having to solve people's problem, the same problem, different people are coming to you that have access to you. And the thing they don't also understand, it's the people having access to you and calling you as the problem being solved is actually part of the problem, because what about the people that don't have access to you? What about the people that don't have, your phone numbers? What are they going to do? What about the people that don't have your phone numbers? They don't, even if they have your phone numbers, they don't want to call you. Why should anybody call you for a favor? Wike is the kind of last person that you should ever call for any favor, even if you are dying. Wike is the kind of person that you choose death rather than say anything that Wike, because he's going to use that. He's going to use that as whatever, drag it, do this, do that. He's the kind of person that, as the problem, they say, no, keep that problem, keep your whatever there. I'm not gonna. I would rather keep your solution or whatever. I'd rather get my problem solved, another way. But the small man mentality. He really wants for him to be recognized. And then when he went to that place, he couldn't understand the audacity why this young man would look him into the eyes and say something. And something, ironically, because yesterday myself and my husband were talking, and it was like, isn't not that Yarima's son? Because our houses where we in Kano, we lived in the same, in the same, no, not Kano, in Kaduna, when the dad was commander. If that's the dad, I would say this, because it did say he was commander of NDA, the Yerima. He's the one that lived we lived in the same environment behind Major Oye in Kaduna. We're like, okay, if that one, now Jebona, the way we get children, they feel themselves. Now, so that one too, they feel themselves. You sure maybe that one even feel himself before we get children, they give feel himself. Because that one has a general, he has been there, is a whatever. Now that kind of general pikin. Now you can't they do anyhow with, and you think say you not go see anyhow. No be smart. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.